Hi, I'm Marlow Felton.
Hi.
And this is Chris Felton, my husband, in case you're wondering.
Damn glad to meet you.
Oh my gosh, why did you say that?
What?
So welcome, thanks for joining us. And today we're going to help you feel wealthier right now. So if you want to feel wealthier right now, we have a really fun exercise to help you feel wealthier. Now, why would you want to feel wealthier besides maybe the obvious reason? But why is it so important that how you feel, that you elevate how you feel?
Because you can't get wealthy by feeling poor.
True.
And most people think that, I'll do these things and I'll, have these things and then I'll feel wealthy. And it's actually the reverse, right? And so one of the things that Marlow and I always study is, why is it that such a small percentage of about 2 to 4% of people actually become financially independent and financially free? Is because they don't understand these laws. And like what Marlow's going to cover today, probably 90+% of people will be like, well, that wouldn't work.
It does.
Or that's not going to help me. Or, they're just going to have those resistant thoughts. And, when we were struggling and I was realizing that by feeling poor, it didn't matter if I worked 80 hours a week, 90 hours a week, 100 hours a week. It didn't matter. It was just, that's what I was putting out and that's what I was getting back. And so I had to just put away, everything I thought I knew about becoming wealthy, because obviously it didn't work. And this whole thing of distracting yourself from these resistant kind of poor thinking thoughts and using games like this, most people are super skeptical about any processes that are taught, but I didn't have a choice. I had to start doing the stuff that Marlow's talking about. This stuff's crucial. Right.
So this is a lot of fun, and just going back to creating the feeling, it's so important to have a better feeling, because when you're feeling icky and you're feeling broke and you feel like you're in this downward spiral, you have to be able to use techniques like this to snap yourself out, basically. Have you ever had one of those days where something really amazing happened and it made you feel really great? Maybe it was your birthday and you got a really great birthday present. Days when your energy is higher, have you noticed that everything else seems to be so much better that day? And it's not a coincidence that everything seems to be better that day. You have a spring in your step. You are acting differently because of this feeling that you have. And as a result, your environment around you becomes more enjoyable. And that's why it's so important that you create this feeling of being wealthy and elevate your feeling any way that you possibly can. So here's how it goes, and it's fun. So you can go to the bank, and the bank just gave me this. They give them out for free. No, I'm just kidding. They really don't. They had to take it out of my checking account, but fortunately, I had $100 in my checking account. This is a real $100 bill. And even if you're feeling,
it's pretty.
It is really pretty. And I had them give me the crispest $100 bill that they had. And the guy even went through a stack of $100 bills to find the
customer service.
Yeah,
wow.
The crispest $100 bill he could find, so that I could display this for you here today. So this is a real $100 bill. So you're going to use this $100 bill to carry it around with you in your wallet, your purse, wherever. And you're going to know that that $100 bill is there. And throughout the day, you're going to mentally spend this $100 bill over and over and over. So every day, you could have mentally spent the equivalent of thousands of dollars creating the feeling of financial independence. So if you drive by a restaurant that you really like, you've got your $100. You could eat there if you wanted to. If you drive by a store, you see a top or pair of shoes or whatever it is that something you want, you've got that $100 bill. You could say to yourself, well, I can buy that, I can buy that, I can buy that, I can buy that. but you're not actually spending the $100 so that you're using it over and over and over again, knowing that you could spend the money and thus creating the feeling of being wealthy. And I had actually, we used this how long ago was it that we did this? I mean, it had to have been like 10 years ago that we used this. And was it? Do you remember?
No, I mean, it was a while back. Yeah.
Yeah, this was one of many techniques that we used to elevate how we felt. And I'll tell you, it might sound corny, hokey, or whatever to you, but I'm telling you, it works. You need to try anything that will help elevate how you feel around money, and the results will come at, right?
Yeah, well, and it's, it's...
I like doing this.
It's,
it makes a nice sound.
How? No, it's, when I got to the point where I was like, I'm just so sick of being broke. I'm so sick of being a victim to money. I'm so sick of just feeling this way. And, and I'm still to this, I'm still to this level today. Like, if you tell me to go, sit on my head for an hour and that's going to move my life forward, like, I'm going to do it, man. Like, Wayne Dyer often talks about, you kind of have two lists. You have this list of what you're willing to do, and then you have this list of what you're unwilling to do. And most people have a huge unwilling to do list. And, the preface is, the unwilling, it's all in the higher good of everybody and it serves everybody. It's, so the unwilling thing isn't like, I'm unwilling to, be unethical. It's that's whatever you're looking to do, it's going to be in the highest good of all involved. But when he was launching his career and he had books and, he'd do radio shows, he said, there was like nothing really on his unwilling to-do list. And that's pretty much, been me since we made the decision that we wanted to, have money be our servant versus, us be the servant of money.
Right.
And so, there wasn't like this, oh, well, I'm not going to do this, game because, whatever. Like, there was not, and there still isn't, success. There's such a small percentage, Bob Proctor calls it the razor's edge of, there's a razor's edge of, getting financially independent and not. And so for me, stuff like this, I'm like, well, what if this was actually the game changer for me? Like, why would I not, do something like this? And so I'm a big believer in techniques and tools, and I probably go way overboard with it, but it's just because, like, we wanted to get a certain level, and Marlow and I want to go to a whole nother level, and it's, and it's going to happen by serving people and making a difference, but there's not a lot on my, like, I'm not willing to do this. And so that's something to check with yourself is, I'm unwilling to try this, or I'm unwilling to do, personal development. Like, just check in on that and do something like this.
Yeah, and it's really very easy. Probably the hardest part of it is going to the bank and getting a $100 bill, right? At least for me, that was the hardest part. So I had to drive to the bank. I had to get out of my car. And they don't have a drive-through. Well, I guess I could have gone to but I couldn't have gotten the crisp. I wanted to make sure I got the crisp one. That's why I went inside.
She likes crisp $100
I do.
bills.
I like them very, very crisp. So this is a crisp $100 bill.
We're going to do a whole show on her just going...
with the sound effects. So if you want to feel wealthier right now, try this exercise. It worked for us. It's very important to elevate how you feel around money, and it's going to put a spring in your step, shift your thoughts, shift your attitude, and in turn, change your results in life. So you're going to carry this $100 bill around with you in your purse or your wallet. You're going to know it's there. You're not going to spend it, but you're going to mentally spend it over and over and over throughout the day. So you have created the feeling of financial abundance and wealth, of being able to spend money on things that you want throughout the day. And it's a powerful, powerful exercise that we've used. Please, I encourage you to go to the bank, get out of your car, go in, get a crisp $100
But
bill.
I'm unwilling
And it will,
to get out of my car.
and it could change your life. Absolutely. I guess you could go through the drive-thru if you don't care about getting a crisp $100 bill. You could just get a regular $100 bill.
But it's you got to change. You know, these techniques is, you know, most people that have challenges around money is they have resistant thoughts on money, and so you have to use techniques in these tools to distract your thoughts and interrupt the thought pattern. You know, it's called, you know, substitution is the term. And so, you know, sometimes you have a negative thought around something and you try to, like, you know, focus on the negative thought or your resistant thought around money, and that's actually not what you need to do. You need to substitute the thought for a new thought. And so that's what a game like this does, is it gets you off those resistant thoughts, and in the process of substitution, you move in a whole new direction.
Right. So if you want to feel wealthier now, try out the $100 bill exercise. I've included a link to the blog so you can read my blog to remind yourself of how the game works and elevate how you feel every single day, and it'll change your life. It changed ours for sure. And this is just one of many exercises that we share with people, but this is very powerful and very, very simple. So I hope that you find value in it. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.